recording for the first time on an iPad. Ooh, it's a bit grainy. Hopefully it's okay. So I just completed my EPIK interview and I wasn't nervous about it at all up until about an hour beforehand, and then all of a sudden the nerves kicked in. But I just wanted to, while everything is fresh in my memory, just kind of say what exactly happened in my interview, because I know that when I was looking at YouTube videos and finding other people who had gone through it and they talked through what they'd gone through, it was just a little bit more helpful to me than just going in blind. First off, I was contacted by them first on Skype, so I was just kind of sitting here for ages waiting for them, and then accepted their contact, and then they called me. And I had a nice guy by the name of Sewon, and he was in Korea, very nice. And the first thing he wanted to check was my details, so my name, my date of birth, where I was born. So once I did that, he asked me, tell me a little bit about you. And so I told him a little bit about me. Just general things about what I'm doing now currently, what my work is, my recent education history, because I just finished my master's in America, a little bit about my family, and he was actually interested in that. He asked me because my parents live in other countries, so he was asking me to elaborate a little bit more about that and about my experiences with being abroad and having, I was born abroad in Hong Kong, so he wanted to know more about that. So if there's anything about travel that you've done, especially recently, or something that's big in your life, then I would definitely mention it, because he really did seem interested in that. And then after he asked me about me, he wanted to go over my application. So they tell you to print it off and have it with you. And so we were going through it, and he was going through and correcting things for me and saying you need to improve this and change this to before you actually submit the final version. Then after that, he wanted to ask me some of those questions that you see online, like the EPIK interview questions. And so the first question he asked me was about my teaching philosophy, and very luckily I had my handy notebook here beside me, and I would definitely take some questions, write a couple words down, and then if you need to, just kind of glance down beside you so that you can see. So I just glanced down and picked out some words that I saw about what my philosophy is as a teacher. He also asked me about how I would deal with different competency levels, because of students who learn at different paces and different rates. He also asked me about my 3 to 5 year plan, which everyone hates that question. And he also asked me what kind of classroom experience I actually had. So even if it's really minute, if they've done anything that's like it, maybe mention that. After I finished those questions, he then asked me some of the things that were in here about, have you got a disability that would stop you from working? What are your piercings and tattoos? Criminal background history. Did you know that there's a big no-no when it comes to drugs in Korea? And he's just, confirming that, because you've already confirmed it on your application, so it should be a no-brainer for those ones. So it's just a couple of those questions. And then he organized, which I didn't realize was going to happen, he organized a coordinator, an interview with him. So what happens after this, it's like a two-step process. You do the EPIK application interview, and then you talk to a coordinator, and he goes through the paperwork and the stuff that you've got to collect to then actually send to EPIK. And mine is tomorrow, so it's happening really soon. He just gave me a general time of 9 AM to 10 AM tomorrow, and he's going to call me on my cell phone. So made sure that he had my cell phone number correctly. So I didn't realize that that was also happening. I probably would have if I'd looked that up, but just to let you know that that is something that happens. And he says that after that, I'll know whether or not I was accepted. So fingers crossed. That's it. I just wanted to add to some of the stuff that was out there on YouTube to show you my experience and say, you're gonna panic, and when you're in it, in the midst of the interview, you're going to be thinking, oh my god, what am I going to say? And the words might be going blah, but it will happen, and it will be over in 30 minutes, and then everything will be fine. So don't worry, and I hope that this is helpful for somebody.